Shalom, shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. When it comes to the hopeful elect, first and foremost, before I get into my quick lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Secondly, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that's scattered worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, the brother Shaquat Gabar coming at you with another quick lesson. And as always, right before I get into the lesson, this message or the videos go out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. And also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations and may take on the physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. Shalom. So basically, I just want to get into a quick lesson, straight to the point, touching on Lamentation 4 and 21. Okay, when it comes to the enslavement and the judgment, okay, that's about to come to you Edomites, man. Okay, this, the so-called white race. Okay, like I say, even though you got Israelites scattered amongst the heathen nations, okay, and when it comes to Israel scattered amongst the heathen nations, you're gonna have Israelites, especially the elect, that's gonna come to the faith. Okay, that may look like other nations, in particular Esau, Edom. But when it comes to the original, Gentiles, okay, or the heathens, okay, when it comes to Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathens, hey, they about to go into captivity, man. Okay, because now we're in the time of these Edomites rulership. When it comes to these heathen nations, that's over us. Okay, but when Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorant called Christ, return during the second coming, at the peak of the Third World War, okay, when Yahweh Shai returned with a host of angels, okay, by the way of the vehicles, which are the chariots, what the world called UFOs, or the vehicles of the angels. Hey, Yahweh Shai come back to take them out of power, okay, and to redeem the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, which the elect considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved. That's a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American descent. Okay, and once this place America be destroyed, okay, disappointing Esau, Edom, New World Order as they try to propose, and when Yahweh Shai come back and disappoint them, okay, Yahweh Shai gonna establish the kingdom of Israel. Okay, and when it comes to these heathen nations, start with the biblical Edomites, the so-called white race. Okay, and these heathen nations, they're going into captivity, man. Okay, that's their future. Okay, and the scriptures prove it. As I'm gonna start off with Lamentation 4 and 21, and it says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz." Okay, and Edom is the so-called white race today that's ruling, chiefly the central bankers, okay, the elites, on down to the lesser luminary ones that's in power today, that's governing America, and down to you average Edomites, okay, when it comes to this place America. Okay, American Edomites, citizens or so-called whites, okay, because it's the time for them now to rejoice because they're in their rulership. Okay, in America, it's their stronghold when it comes to their power structure. Okay, outside of the EU, NATO, okay, and other various places that they ruling now. Okay, but when Yahweh Shai return, He's come back to take all of them out of power, man. Okay, when it comes to the Edomites and these heathen nations, and at this time, the Lord going to destroy 2/3 of Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, or the non-believers of our people. Okay, when it comes to this place, America. Okay, they don't want to, seek Yahweh Shem Shai, or that, scoff and scorn against Yahweh Shem Shai by the way of the ministry, or by the way of the prophets. Okay, and those that, taking the truth or the word of the Lord as a joke. Okay, but now we coming to the time of transition of power. Lamentation chapter 4 verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked. When it comes to Esau Edom exposure. Okay, now they being exposed, man. What their true biblical nationality is, to prove that they're the wicked. Okay, when it comes to the scriptures. Okay, because for some time, we've been taught that Esau Edom, or the so-called white race, okay, God looked like, a so-called white man. Okay, when it comes to who the world called Christ, is so-called white man. Okay, which goes back to the whitewashing or iconoclasm. Okay, or when it comes to the rebirth. Okay, the Renaissance period. Okay, all that's in the scripture. Okay, and still to this day, majority of our people, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, still thinking who the world called God and Christ, or so-called white men. Okay, especially when it comes to Christianity. Okay, thinking that, the people of the Bible, when it comes to salvation, okay, it just particularly just white people. Okay, but now we come to the understanding who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, not no phonies over there. Okay, they're calling themselves the Jews today. Okay, which we know the terminology of Jew. Okay, which go back to Judah. Okay, which are the Herod tribe. Okay, when it comes to the so-called Negroes. Okay, the Judites. Okay, and primarily the Judites are dark skin. Okay, not no phonies over there. Which that land gonna be destroyed by missiles at the peak of the Third World War, just for it to be cleansed. And when Yahweh Shai, delivered the elect of the nation of Israel and set up the kingdom here on the earth, okay, that we're gonna, take over our land once again, and the world. Okay, but right now these heathens, starting with Esau Edom, okay, and the rest of the heathens over there in our land, occupying our land, okay, just to be a bunch of phonies, man. Okay, but now we coming to the time of their exposure. When it comes to Esau Edom, their true biblical nationality, the prophecies, okay, when it comes to the future, enslavement and destruction, Obadiah 1:18, okay, and when it comes to these heathens, okay, they have, at the time now ruling over us, but now they being exposed, man, especially when it comes to Esau Edom, okay, and they're going to drink of the cup, okay, the wrath of the Lord, okay, when it comes to the Lord, bringing judgment upon them, because when it comes to us, the Israelites, we had to drink of the wrath of the Lord, and we are the Lord chosen people, man, okay, and we had to experience the curses, okay, in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 through 68, okay, but the Lord punished us when it comes to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and the Lord punished us, okay, as a nation of Israel, due to our disobedience, okay, and following after these false gods and, idol worship, okay, and now we coming in the time the Lord about to liberate us, okay, or redeem us, okay, that's why I say what Lamentation chapter 4 verse 21, it said, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Like I said, they expose me when it comes to the shameful history as well. Okay, this when it comes to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 16. Okay, they shameful spewing. Okay, when it comes to their history. Okay, what they done did throughout the earth, how they done came against us, the Israelites, how they done blasphemed the power and the image, okay, of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, so now they about to pay for that, man. Okay, even though Esau, now I'm about to go, go on a rampage, rampage. But what I'm saying, it's so now and then it's time to the time for the Lord to expose them, man. Okay, because this their time as they in their rulership, but also the time of them being exposed and be taken out of power. And for us, us of the Israelites, about to be risen up, okay, and redeemed, and the Lord bringing salvation, and we're gonna have an everlasting kingdom, as it says in verse 22. It said, "The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins." Okay, so this the time now, as we in this calling, and Yahweh Shem Yahushai raises the prophets. Okay, eventually we in the time of, like I say, the transition of power. The Lord about to liberate us. Okay, the Israelites. Okay, and bring down Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations. Okay, and they're gonna have to, soon experiencing captivity. Okay, or the judgment of the Lord when it comes to the cup of the Lord. Okay, as it says here in Lamentation chapter 4, verse 21. Okay, let me get another one. With that Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, okay, that he has taken against Edom." Once again, Esau, Edom, the so-called white race. Okay, that's chiefly ruling today. Okay, "his purpose, that he may purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay, and surely he shall make them their habitation desolated with them." And that coming in the time when this place, America, about to be destroyed. Like I say, them phonies over there, when it comes to Israel, that land about to be destroyed. Okay, by the way of missiles at the peak of the Third World War. Okay, mainly by the way of Russia. Okay, Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, going into that, which are the Russians. Okay, go back to modern day Gog, okay, or Magog. Okay, which they're Edomites. Okay, and they going into captivity. Okay, but the Lord has used them for his purpose to destroy this place, America. Okay, when it comes to the time of the Third World War. Okay, in this in the place Israel. Okay, when it comes to Esau, Edom rulership. Okay, but let me get this so I don't want to go into the cup and the Lord judgment. Hey, Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. "But I had made Esau bare," and once again, Esau being buried, man. They being exposed, man. Okay, by the way of the prophets, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and by the way of the internet. Okay, so now they being exposed, man. Okay, and they can't do nothing but to get prepared for the curses that the Lord about to put upon them. Okay, because they didn't have their time. Okay, in wickedness and rulership. Okay, or their wickedness. Okay, causing all type of mayhem. Okay, all type of doing all type of wickedness, man. Okay, now it's the time of righteousness when it comes to Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahushai will installing righteousness in the earth when it comes to the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. Okay. And it says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed, his spoil, his brethren, his neighbors, he is not. Okay, yeah, because now they feel like they ain't comfortable. They're trying to force the NWO, but all that is being exposed. But through the same time, through their pride, they think they're going forward the NWO. Okay, when it comes to, especially when it comes to the RFID microchip, soon they want to implement. Okay, which is prophecy, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. Okay, yeah, but they ain't gonna. That's gonna come to naught. Okay, yeah, because they're gonna push the NWO. Okay, just for the Lord had more of a reason to come back and take them out of power, man. Okay, when it comes to Esau, Edom, wickedness. Okay, and they go into captivity. And it says, lead thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive. Let thy widows trust in me. Oh yeah, because like I said, the elites, starting with the elites, they're going to escape. Okay, the missiles. Okay, just to be reserved for captivity. Okay, and all of them gonna go into captivity up on us, man. Okay, when Lord redeem us, man. Okay, also the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. Okay, starting with the hopeful elect. For this said the Lord, behold, those who judgment was not to drink of the cup had surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. And that's the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay, prophecy. Okay, when it comes to the cup. Okay, when it comes to the curses, that's going to be put upon them. Because we had to drink of the cup. And we the Lord chosen people. Okay, when it comes to the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay, due to our disobedience. But now we in the time of redemption. Okay, the Lord waking us up and repenting when it comes to Yahweh Shai, about to redeem us, man. Okay, and now it comes to the time also when Yahweh Shai about to come against you heathens. Start with the Edomites, man. And me personally, I can't wait. Okay. Let me see. Let me get this on Deuteronomy, and I'll probably close because I ain't want to make this lesson too long. How Lord said He's gonna put all the curses on our enemies. Let me see. Here we go. Jeremiah, not Jeremiah, Salah, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 6. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love the Lord, thy power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou may live. And that's going to the time of when Yahweh Shai redeem us, man. Okay, also the hopeful elect. And it eventually set up the kingdom of Israel, which is by default the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, and we're going to be righteous forevermore. They're going to be an everlasting kingdom in righteousness. Okay, and the law, statute, commandments is going to be in our inward parts. And due to that, hey, we're going to rule the earth in righteousness. Okay, but when it comes to Esau, Edom, and these heathens receiving a judgment, okay, they're going to be judged by the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, which we know, they're going to have to, fall in line, being servants. And if they don't, follow the law, statute, commandments, then we're going to have that scepter, okay, the rule over them and correct them, okay? But we know Esau, Edom, they the wicked, so they ain't going to get no correction. So really, they captivity, okay, or that 1,000-year period, okay, gonna come to the point, okay, them being enslaved and being punished, okay, as the Lord gonna put the curses upon them, okay, gonna rule over them, okay. Verse 7, and the Lord thy power, Yahweh Shema Shai, will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Starting with the Edomites, man. Okay? So they about to feel the wrath for Yahweh Shema Shai. And it's about time. It's about time. And these heathen nations. Yeah, the 2/3, they just in the way. Yeah, they're going to be judged and, have to come back in the kingdom. Okay, eventually being sons and daughters of the elect. Okay, when it comes to prophecy. And Lord, having mercy. Okay, but when it comes to these heathen nations, start with Esau, hey, get ready. Get ready. And I'll keep it like that. And I'll go out and close and pray that this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.